Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Saturday. It is the 15th of February. It is a Govinda Masa or Phalguna Masa. Tadiyatidi, Krishna Paksham and Tadiyatidi. So there are no Vaishnava events in the calendar. So we shall quickly move into our Bible stream and Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Sukadeva Goswami describing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is the uh, cause of all causes. So he creates this universe with different living entities, and then he also agitates this uh, with the three material modes of nature. He agitates this nature with the three material modes of nature. In such a way, everyone will become either good in or passion or ignorant. So in such a way, three modes will be influenced, and then, but Lord, in order to elevate them from the conditioned position of this material world to the spiritual planets, he appears in this universe in a different incarnations, and he maintains Sayevedam Jagadhata Bhagavan Dharma Rupadrup Pushnati Stapayan Vishwam Tiryak Nara Suradibihi. The Lord appears in the human society, animal society, and demigod society like that. Sayevedam Jagadhata Bhagavan Dharma Rupadruk. Dharma Rupadruk. So he also in the form of the religious principles. So religious principles, it gives all kinds of the like the Vedas. So if you do like this one, you will get reactions. If you perform like this, you will get the pious activities. Like that, so many of these injunctions exist in the Vedas. That in that way, all the living entities are bound by the Vedic injunctions. Nama Vihibaddaha. So this is the Vahantim Bhalimishituhu. So they Narada Muni says everyone are tied to the Vedic injunctions. So in such a way, Sukadeva Goswami, after describing that, he maintains how he maintains. Then now he is describing about how he annihilates as well, how he destroys this universe again at the end. He's saying that at the end of this millennium, in the form of Lord Shiva, he annihilates all the creation. Just like in the sky, if we see the cloud, there is a white cloud, and what happens when due to the force wind, the white big cloud gradually it will split, and then finally there is no form to the cloud. It has merged into the air within the sky itself. In the similar way, all this universe is annihilated by the Lord in the form of Lord Shiva. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is describing. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 10, verse number 43. So this is the verse, I think in the previously you have also heard about until 42 verses from Prabhavati Mataji. So this is the 43. So we are going to hear the new ones from here. ततः कालाग्निरुद्रात्मा यस्सृष्टमिदमात्मनः सन्नियच्यति तत्काले घनानीकम् इवानिलः ततः कालाग्निरुद्रात्मा. Thereafter at the end, Kala destruction, Agni the fire, Rudratma in the form of Rudra. So this is the Tatah Kalagni Rudratma. And then Yasrustam idam Atmanaha. Yasrustam idam Atmanaha. Whatever the Lord has created, idam Atmanaha by his own. So the Lord only creates, and here Lord only is destroying this universe. Yasrustam idam Atmanaha. Sanniyachati tatkale. Sanniyachati completely annihilates. The Lord completely annihilates. Annihilates in the sense, just like a if we go to the beach and if, for example, taking the sand and we create very nice beautiful fort with all the sand and in due course of time. But when we are after playing all these things and we come out from that place, by the time if it is children, they will destroy everything just like that, just wipe out all the sand, but still sand is there. So likewise, this universe is also created, and all the ingredients are already exist here, pradhana. And then whenever it annihilates, and pradhana is avishesham, prakriti is the vishesham. Prakriti means it is the manifested state. Pradhana is the unmanifested state. The prakriti, whenever pradhana is agitated by the three material modes of nature, gradually this prakriti gets manifested. And then again at the end this prakriti will be annihilated, but prakriti is the mother and which gives the shelter for all the living entities. And once this play is completed, the game is completed, and again prakriti is annihilated and merged back into the pradhana original position. No more, it is kind of a avyaktam, avishesham. So likewise, sanniyachit tatkale, the Lord completely annihilates. And Ghananikam Ivanilaha. So how he annihilates? Just like the Ghananikam Ivanilaha, the bunches of clouds like that of the Anilaha. So when they are blown by the air, in due course, if we see that we could have observed when the big cloud is going in the air, in the sky, and gradually at the end, if there is small part, and then if it is separated, and in due course of time, it will become invisible. It has merged in the sky, but still it is within the sky. Gananikam Ivanilaha. Very nice analogy is here. Tatah Kalagni Rudratma Yasrustamidamatmanah Sanniyati Tatkale Ghananikam Ivanilaha. So translation for this verse. Thereafter, at the end of the millennium, the Lord in the form of Rudra, the destroyer, will annihilate the complete creation as the wind displaces the clouds. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. Can I request Sanchita Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Thank you. The creation is very appropriately compared to clouds. The clouds are created or situated in the sky, and when they are displaced, they remain in the same sky without manifestation. Similarly, the whole creation is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his form of Brahma. It is maintained by him in the form of Vishnu, and it is destroyed by him in the form of Rudra or Shiva, all in due course. This creation, maintenance, and destruction are nicely explained in in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 19 to 20, as follows. भूतग्राम स एवयं भूत भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्रे अगामे वशः पार्थ प्रभावति अघर अगामे परस्तस्मात् तु भावोऽन्यो व्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः स सर्वेषु भूतेषु नास् nasyatsu na vinashati. The nature of the material world is that it is first created very nicely, then it is developed very nicely for a great number of years, even beyond the calculation of greatest mathematician. But after that, it is again destroyed during the night of Brahma without any resistance, and at the end of the night of Brahma, it is again manifested as a creation to follow the same principle of maintenance and destruction. The foolish conditioned soul who has taken this temporary world as a permanent settlement has to learn intelligently why such creation and destruction take place. The fruitive actors in the material world are very enthusiastic in the creation of big enterprises, big houses, big empires, big industries, and so many big things out of the energy and ingredients supplied by the material agent of the Supreme Lord. With such resources and at the cost of valuable energy, the conditioned soul creates, satisfies his whims, but unwillingly has to depart from all his creations and enter into another phase of life to create again and again. To give hope to such foolish, conditioned souls who waste their energy in this temporary material world, the Lord gives information that there is another nature which is eternally existence without being occasionally created or destroyed, and that the conditioned soul can understand what he should do and how his valuable energy may be utilized. Instead of uh, instead of wasting his energy in the matter which is sure to be destroyed in due course by the supreme will, the conditioned soul which should utilize his energy in the devotional service of the Lord so that they can be transferred to the other eternal nature where there is no birth, no death, no creation, no destruction, but permanent life instead, full of knowledge and unlimited bliss. The temporary creation is thus exhibited and destroyed just to give information to the conditioned soul who is attached to the temporary things. It is also meant to give him a chance for self realization and not for self gratification, which is the prime aim of all fruitive actors. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here, this is again the creation and the destruction. So Prabhupada is describing those explanations here. This is again bringing the the bhutagramah sa evayam bhutva praliyate. Bhutagramah sa eva ayam. Whatever is existing with all these living entities, bhutva praliyate again creates and annihilates. And here, how it get annihilates? Ratri agame avasyaha padha avashaha. So because helplessly they will be annihilated. So whenever we are sleeping in the night, even though when sleep is coming and there are so many things, and just what are important, just keep aside and then we go to the bed. But this is we just automatically eyes will get closed because this is avashaha automatically. So even there are so many important works, but still it doesn't matter. Ratri agame, when the Brahma's night comes, everything will be avashaha padha, helplessly annihilated. And then prabhavantya haragame, and they will be created again in the daytime. And because this is the universe, our universe, always going through the different kinds of changes. But beyond this one, there is one particular, the transcendental world, which is called avyakta. This is the parastasmatu bhavonyo. Avyakto avyakta sanatanaha. That is called sanatana. That does not go through this kind of annihilations and creations like that. It always exists. Sanatanaha. So yah sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsu na vinasyati. And whenever this material world is being annihilated and created again like that, but this parastasmatu bhavani navina. So here nasyatsu na vinasyati. it will never be destroyed like the material world. So that is how Krishna is speaking to Arjuna here. One has to always worship that Supreme Personality of Godhead and go back to the Godhead. If you are worshipping some kind of powerful demigod of this material world, we stay back here and then going through the transformations again and again. That's why Krishna says that Kamastaisarvhuta jnanaha prapadhyanti anya devataha tam tam nimamastaya prakrutya nita swaya. There will be condition here because they are approaching particular kind of a demigod, powerful demigod, but he will be still conditioned. Prakritya nita swaya nitaha. So he will be conditioned here by the material nature. So that's, but if we just worshipping Krishna, what happens? He is always free from the material nature. And he is always in the Vaikuntha planets, Goloka Vrindavana. And we also go back there. We will not be bound by this material nature. So this nature of this material world is that is first is created very nicely and then it develops very nicely and stays for a great number of years and even beyond the calculation of greatest mathematician. So here if Brahma's daytime is the 4.3 million years. Sorry, is that for no, one Chatur is of the 4.3 million years. Likewise, 1,000 yoga cycles in one Brahma's day. That is 4. If we multiply it by 1,000, 1 million cross 1,000, it is billion. 4.3 billion years of the daytime of Brahma. So that is that it keep on growing, and then within this every Chatur Yuga again there is a Kruta Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. So that cycle also going on. Small annihilations like that and bigger annihilations, but at the end of the Brahma's day, bigger annihilation. So this is beyond the calculation of the greatest mathematician. We are all hardly living 100 years, that especially in this age of Kali. So after that, it is again destroyed during the night of Brahma without any resistance. See, helplessly they will be destroyed at the end of the night of Brahma. That is early in the morning of Brahma. It is again manifested as a creation to follow the same principles of the maintenance and destructions. So this is we see how the Brahma comes from the Garbhodaka navel of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu in the lotus flower. He comes from that lotus flower, and then initially that is the Brahma Kalpa. And then he meditates for his years, entire his life he spends only in the meditation. Then at the end he see the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. He offers his prayers to the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and by the mercy of the Lord again he will get the similar kind of age again to live for another 100 years. Okay, so that is how, and then whenever Brahma creates that, and that is going for 4.3 billion years as the daytime, again 4.3 billion years as the nighttime. And after the nighttime, again new day, and Brahma, as soon as he wakes up from his sleep, from his nighttime sleep, he sees again all the devastating water. And then this lotus flower is so effulgent, whatever the Brahma is sitting, that lotus flower is so effulgent that it will dry up the devastating water in his daytime. Okay, so that is what we see in the third canto, chapter 8. Chaturyuganam ja sahasramapsu swapan swaya udirtaya swasitya kalakhyasita karmatantra lokanapitam dadrushe swadehe. And Vijyota Yannarka Yivatma Yonihi, that lotus flower, just like a Vijyota Yannarka Yivatma Yonihi, that itself is so effulgent, that lotus flower, like a sun. Okay, so that is the principles of maintenance and the destruction, Brahma's daytime and nighttime. But the foolish, conditioned soul, who is of very tiny thinking of this temporary material world, uh, as whatever he thinks that Conditioned soul who has taken this temporary role as a permanent settlement has to learn intelligently why such creation and destruction take place. This is what people generally, the tendency is they wanted to enjoy only. They do not see the causes behind it. This is Yasyatma Buddhi Kunape Tridatuke. Swadihi Ijjati Bhauma Ijjati Kalatradishu Bhauma Ijjatihi. He thinks that all whatever his family, friends, and the land, it is only for my enjoyment. It is mine. Likewise, Yasyatma Buddhi Kunape Tridatuke. Tridhatuke. It is a kappa pitta vayu. The body is made up of the three tridhatus. He thinks like that. But he does not think the reasons behind. But if it's just what is just generally what people do, if something happens, you are the reason for my problems, you are the reason for this kind of thing. Like was immediately they so, but they do not understand the root cause of everything. There is for everything there is a reason. It is not happening just by chance. So the fruitive actors in the material world are very enthusiastic in the creation of big enterprises. So for all these big things and these creations of this human society, it is receiving the ingredients from the material agent of the Supreme Lord. They are not getting. So if we just pay the bills for the sunlight, if we pay the bills for the rain, if we pay the bills for the fire god and the wind, the Vayu, we cannot pay all these bills. And the Mother Earth. So see, they're all giving, these are all material agent of the Supreme Lord. We are simply utilizing it. This is called Krupanaha, Palahetavaha. They wanted to enjoy without any gratitude. So with such resources and at the cost of valuable energy, conditioned soul creates and satisfies his whims, but unwillingly has to depart from all his creations and enter into another phase of life to create again and again. So this is how, even though they accumulate, they create so many of those things. If we see so many, for example, the cars on the planet, they create so many cars. And if one wheel is not working, and if that person does not have patience, he will keep the car in due course of time. It will become rusty and then no more useful. And he does not have patience to take it to that garbage or something like. We see so many of such cars like that. One accident happens, the car will be like that. So much of pollution. Likewise, unnecessarily, they're digging the material world, exploiting the material nature, and creating. Our sages, what did they do? The material nature, it gives the harmonious and very healthy environment to the all the living entities. It will heal itself automatically unless the humans are destroying and disturbing it. So what these sages do, they know it. Simply eco-friendly homes, the huts, and which cannot destroy, even though it can be, if there is a fire, automatically it will burn to ashes. That is another thing, and merge into the soil automatically, and then once again the grass and everything it will come. It is all eco-friendly life, and they engage always in the meditations and devotional service activities. That is the happy life. Now people are creating especially the main thing is the cement, which is once the concrete is prepared and it will ruin the nature. That is cement, and then there are so many other machinery. This is the iron machines, and this is cement and concrete. These are the things polluting, and the tar. We may think that these are necessary, but actually how they are helping us in prolonging our healthy life? No way. It is not increasing. Instead, it is decreasing because it is creating the anxiety within our life. It is, we are not trying to adjust to the material, this cycle of birth, old age, disease. We are not trying to accept it. And we wanted to protect at every stage. That is that's why they have been put up into so much of anxieties all the time. If they are accepting that in due course of time, yes, this body will be annihilated, why unnecessarily you have to work? Then life will go very smoothly. Whatever comes, take it and then live happily. Then life will go and it will prolong the life because of no anxiety. To give hope to such foolish conditioned souls to waste their energy in the temporary mold, temporary world, the Lord gives information that there is another nature. This is this is न तद्भासयति सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्घत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. That nature, another nature, which is eternally existent without being occasionally created or destroyed. There is no sun and no moon or no electricity. And that conditioned soul can understand what he should do and how his valuable energy may be utilized instead of wasting his energy in the matter, which is sure to be destroyed in due course by the supreme will. The conditioned soul should utilize his energy in the devotional service of the Lord so that he can be transferred to the other eternal nature, where there is no birth, no death, no creation, no destruction, but permanent like instead full of knowledge and unlimited bliss. See, very beautiful. This is एतावत् जन्म साफल्यं देहेषु इह देहिनां प्राणैः यद्दैः धिया वाचा श्रेय आचरणं सदा. Just like if you see one tree, for example, mango tree, it will give very nice, delicious fruits. The unripe mango, so nice and tasty, and ripe mango, so sweet and tasty. And once this the leaves, it is also useful, and it gives the shadow to the people. And once the sticks are dried, then it will also become useful as a firewood. And even the tree is cut, then still the wood is used in so many ways, preparing the household things. This is called Yetavad Janma Sapalyam. So Krishna says to all the Gopa boys that one has to live like that. So all without selflessly, Atmaihi, Pranaihi, Addaihi, Dhiyavacha, his Pranaihi, all his life force, and Addaihi, money, and his words, his intelligence, Shreya Acharanam Sada, always for the well-being of everyone and himself. Bharat Bhumite Haila, Janma Sadhikakari, and there is again verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that one. And then Paropakara, Janma Sadhakari, and then Paropakara. He says like that. One has to always wish the well-being of everyone, all the living entities. That is how utilizing his energy. Tasmad May Arpit Ashesha Kriyadha Atma Nirantaraha. This is Nirantaraha, without any stop, all the time engage his time, um, his activities in the devotional service. All the scriptures are diverting to that. That then it will become Brahma Sampatyam. It is invisible, the energy or the invisible asset of a living entity. One has to do and acquire such kind of wealth, which can be taken from here to the spiritual world. That devotion, the mode. But anything, whatever we are seeing, accumulating all these things, it is the useless energy. At the end of the human life, we cannot take the wealth, we cannot take the bank balance, we cannot take the friends or family. Even if we ask them, they don't come with us because they understand it is their death. They do not come, they do not accompany us. And we cannot take good clothes or the beauty of this material world. Anything, we do not take it. So our material body is just also like a one kind of materialistic asset. Yata putra chirita cha prutak madhyah pratiyate. Just like we have got the money, the home, just like this body is also like that. This body also like that. It is temporarily given to us. The temporary creation is thus exhibited and destroyed just to give information to the conditioned soul who is attached to temporary things. It is also meant to give him a chance for self-realization and not for sense gratification, which is the prime aim of all fruitive actors. When we are, for example, when we are going from one place to source to destination, in the between, if we see some kind of nice picnics or nice kind of fairs they're going on, if people are attracted to that, our journey may be delayed to our destination. And if journey is delayed, what happens? If the fuel is completed, then we have to stay in that night somewhere. But during that night, we do not know whatever it comes. So it is going like we are going to so many millions of Bahujanma Vipakvena Samyak Yoga Samadhina Drishtum Yatinteti Yaha Sunyagarush Yatpadam. The Lord is not available that much easily until one goes through so many lives. Bahujanma Vipakvena, failures of so many lives. But one has to always render uh, devotional service to the Lord. That way he will achieve the aim of life. Etavad Janma Sapalyam. Okay, so that is our Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada is describing. So just come out of this samsriti, birth, old age, disease, and death, and enter into the Vaikuntha planets. प्रवर्तते यत्र रजस्तमस्तयोः सत्त्वं च मिश्रं न च कालविक्रमः न यत्र माया किमुता परे सुरेर् हरे यत्र सुर असुर अर्चिताः. So there in this planet of Vaikuntha, there is no mode of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, no time influence, no Maya is there, and demigods and also demons also worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sura Asura Achitaha. See, that is the Vaikuntha planets. That's what Prabhupada wanted to bring that to end Vaikuntha planet and establish in this material world. So if we see, many people are taking to devotional service. Suras and Asuras. We also practically see, for example, this Mahakumbh Mela there, millions, around 500,000,000 people have gone and then taken the bath. All the purpose is, it is auspicious. They wanted to do the pious activity. They will either succeed or achieve something else, but endeavor is there. All of their endeavors is there. It is the unity. There are no conflicts between the people here. Why there is no conflict? Though 500,000,000 people are going there. Why? Because the Lord's energy is there. Lord is Sura Asura Achitaha. Even the one does not believe, but still he is going to take bath. Whatever it comes, I don't lose anything, but let me go and do it and cooperate, whatever all I can do. This is Sura Asura Achitaha. Harehe Satra Sura Asura Achitaha. This is the Vaikuntha plan. All cooperation. But if we see the material world, here always pointing to each other and trying to steal money from others opposite person's pocket, in finding the ways. Always, if you are seeing the some devotional videos transferring, but some are unnecessarily displaying the marketing videos in between, disturbing all the time. They are disturbing in every moment. Disturbing. This is the material world people. They are so called the snakes' jewels on their head. If they get a chance, they will bite us with their fangs, poisonous fangs. We need to be very careful at every moment. So this is what Prabhupada wanted to bring, that Vaikuntha plant and establish at least the Krishna consciousness society is there. It is a oasis in this desert of this material world. All pains, dukkhalayam, ashashvatam. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, I have taken few minutes more. So, Tatah Kalagni Rudratma, yes Rustamidamaatmanaha, Sanniyachiti Tatkale Ghananikam Ivanilaha. So, like the wind blows the clouds, and then there is no proper cloud after that, once it blown by the air. Likewise, the Lord He annihilates this material world at the end of the millennium. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jaya. Okay, we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Haimavati, July 4th, 1970, Los Angeles. Okay, so it is another letter, different letter. So can I request any unallocated devotee to read this letter? Do we have Mrida Sachi Mataji to read this letter, if available? Okay, Gaurangi Mataji, would you like to read the letter? Okay, so
I will read, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
yeah, sure, Mataji, please.
My dear Himavati, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your letter dated Neil, and I am very sorry to learn that you are injured in a motor accident. I have come to San Francisco on account of Rath Yatra festival and shall be returning by next Tuesday. Do not be worried by lying down. Chant Hare Krishna mantra, and Krishna will help you to be free from this confinement very soon. In my previous letter, I informed you that you better stick to the Archana Vidhi of the temple, and I confirm the same again that in future you will always remain in the temple. So we should always consider that this material world is a dangerous place, and therefore we shall chant Lord Narasimha's holy name in order to be protected by him in all dangers. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahladaladayini Hiranyakashipu Bhakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha Ahe Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Narasimha Nade Saranam Prapave Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamakuta Sringam Dalitam Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Your ever well-wisher is Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any reflections, Mataji, in this letter?
So, okay, Prabhu, this one is Prabhupada said he had an accident, so and then he's saying, I'm going to go to San Francisco for Rath Yatra festival, and maybe he's saying to don't worry about lying down. Maybe she is not able to, but to chant Hare Krishna mantra and will help you to be get better soon, maybe. And yeah, so and then Prabhupada mentioning said this is material world, but stay in the temple and stick to the Archana Vidhi, and yeah, so you will always say remain in the temple. And he's mentioning about the danger will Narasimha will protect all about the danger. So chant that Narasimha prayers. Yes, Prabhu, that's it. That's it.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Sanchita Mataji, Saranya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, Usha Mata just summed up nicely. So nothing much, but it's we can take this opportunity to, read the translation of the Narasimha prayer maybe one more time. So we can do that. So Lord Narasimha's prayer is for always for devotees' protection, and we do it every single day and ask for his mercy. So Lord Narasimhadev is an incarnation of Lord Krishna that appeared to protect his young devotee Prahlad. He appeared as a half man, half lion, and killed envious and aesthetic demon Hiranyakashipu, who was materialism personified. Hiran means gold and Kashyapu means like soft bed. Devotees pray to Lord Narasimha for protection and kill their material desires. So, Namaste Narasimha Praladalada Daine Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Shilatanka Nakhalaya. So which means I offer my obeisances to Lord Narasimha who gives joy and to Prahlad Maharaj and whose nails are chisels on the stone-like chest of the demon Hiranyakashipu. Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha Yato Yami Tato Narasimha Bahir Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye. Lord Narasimhadev is here and also there. Wherever I go, Lord Narasimha is there. He is within the heart and is outside as well. I surrender to Lord Narasimha and who is the origin of all things and the supreme refuge. Tava kara kamala varenakham adbhuta shingam dalita hiranakashapu tanubringam Keshavadhrita narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hari. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half lion and half man. All glories to you, just as one easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails of your beautiful lotus hands. नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice. We can do translation. Good.
That's all, Prabhu, yeah. And Mataji has explained like that refers to the Srimad Bhagavatam shloka we were doing today. So it's like this material world, we try to cling on to this material energy and get contaminated, but that is not the purpose of life. So Prabhupada is giving some advice to Sikh Hemavati, who is an accident, that consider this material world as a dangerous place, and we chant the Lord for the protection from all the dangers. So yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments? Saranya Mataji wanted to add?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Nothing specific, Prabhu. Usha Mataji has explained everything, and thank you for the translation, Sajid Mataji. It's nice to read the translation, like sometimes, because even though it constantly remains the meaning, we chant this daily, but still it was nice, Mataji. And thank you, Prabhu. That's all, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so here Prabhupada is mentioning that Krishna will help you to be free from this confinement very soon, but do not be worried by lying down. So thinking that I got accident. Do not be worried like that. So Prabhupada and similarly previously also mentioned, whenever such kind of accidents it happens, but we are saved means there is something, the hand of the Lord. But if there is accident and we are saved and we are able to continue our day-to-day activities from later on, that is good. We have to acknowledge that one and think and always pray to the Lord and be always under the shelter of the Lord. That is a warning to us. But if the same thing, accident happens and we lose something else, and then always being suffered later on, it is another different kind of thing. It is not good. The Prabhupada mentioned it is not good. A similar kind of incident, situation, Prabhupada is describing there in that letter. That is not good because we have to suffer throughout the life or for a prolonged period of time. But here, again, Prabhupada instructing here that do not be worried and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, free your, Krishna will help you free from this confinement very soon. So here when we are engaging in, so if we see the Brahmanas, they're always engaging in the devotional service, worshipping the Lord and then doing pujas. They do not enter into this kind of materialistic business, going here and there, unnecessarily traveling hundreds of kilometers, going in a cars. They do not do it. That is, Brahmana's life is so simple and easy. Their livelihood is going very easily. So here, Archana Vidhi of the temple, it is so easy. We do not have to worry unnecessarily for struggling. There are people outside, they do it, the karmis, and they will come in order to gain some pious activities. They come to the temple and offer something, and Krishna arranges for the livelihood. He will look after it. But here, devotee does not have to look for himself for his livelihood. Automatically, the Lord arranges those things. What we need to do? Surrender ourselves unto Krishna. Stick to the Archana Vidya of the temple. Always remain in the temple. So we should always consider this material world is dangerous place. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. This natesham, tesham is the devotees. Natesham, it is this material world is not for the devotees. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. So we have to go param padam. Param padam. And then how it will go? So if the problems of this material world, bhavam bodhi vaccha padam param padam. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. This is Padapallava Plavam. Samasitaye Padapallava Plavam Mahat Padam Punyeshu Murarehe. That is the Padam Punyeshu Murarehe. Okay, so then we will be easily cross these dangers. Always chant Narasimha's holy name in order to be protected by him in all dangers. Okay, so that is very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely explained. Any other comments? Okay, so that is from Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, I contacted Shyam Prabhuji for with regards to the Rajbhoga Arati to Shri Shri Radha Landaneshwara. So I have not received any response from Shyam Prabhuji yet. I'll wait and then once again follow up with Prabhuji. And then once we do it, and then the rest of the balance will offer it to the Veda base. Yeah, that's all the updates from me. And then apart from that, today evening we have got Chaitanya Charitamrita at 7 p.m. And we are going to do by ourselves, our Gaur Sangha speakers at 7 p.m. Okay, those are our upcoming events and updates. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just another reflection from this letter that, you were mentioning that lying down. Himavati Mataji, she had this accident and she was lying down. Yeah, of course, worst could have happened. Maybe worst was meant to happen according to the karmic reaction, but because she is in Krishna consciousness, so Lord saves, and maybe just we get released by get with a small something, like more severe something could have happened, but because Lord protects, Narasimhadeva protected, and we just get away with less injury or less things. But at the same time, Lord sometimes chooses his like very sincere and loving devotees to show that even if a lot severe things happen, like His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, like how his life got so disbalanced physically, but for so many years, nearly 20 years, he has been serving with that body. As we mentioned, we learned before that it's not even worth living, one astrologer told, without seeing him. And still he's carrying on his devotional service till this day. with such humility and grace and being an example to the world. So yeah, he chooses, but he does not give that, because he gives things according to as much as we can take. So he has given it to such. Yesterday also, it was a letter to Jayapataka Maharaj. So he Prabhupada knows that he is very intelligent and a wonderful devotee. So maybe it's not that something good has happened, but even with that has happened to him materially, but he has spiritually not given up anything. When so many times he goes to the hospital, he preaches, nurses, doctors, and spread Krishna consciousness even in this body, which is so difficult to sustain with. Yeah, so that was another reflection I just wanted to add. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for adding that point. Yes, devotees, we do not have to explain about the problems to the devotees. They have already seen all kinds of problems. They know they have got good experiences, how they are put up into problems, how they are protected by the Lord in due course of time. They have seen in all angles. Many devotees, some are still seeing them, some are not yet acknowledging them. Some have already seen and then adjusted themselves. Yes, this is the Dukkhalayam Shashvatam. Okay, so that is the digesting those things. Some may be in the beginning, some may be in the middle, some may be in the later stage. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, if you are all happy, then, and also updates perspective as well. If you're all happy, then we shall move to the next part of our program, this Vaikuntha descriptions. It's been a long wait to discuss these ones, where four Kumaras, the Lord, and Vijaya. Okay, so we shall move to that part. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 16. 16, the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya, cursed by the sages. So here the Lord has glorified the Brahmanas, and then the Brahmanas, they could not understand. And then Navayam Bhagavan Vidmaha Tavadeva Chikishitam Kurutomi Anugrahasheti Yad Adyakshaha Prabhashase. So they could not understand what Lord wanted to do. Even though they have contemplated for a deeply, they could not understand. And then started speaking to the Lord, saying that Brahmanyasya param daivam brahmanaha kilate prabho vipranam devadevanam bhagavanatma daivatam. So you are the Supreme Lord, you are all the well-wisher of the Brahmanas and Vipranam, Devadevanam, Bhagavanatma Daivatam. For all of these categories, you are the only worshipable Lord. Likewise, Kumaras, this is Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanat, Sanandana, they're all glorifying the Lord. Brahmanyasya param daivam brahmanaha kilate prabho. So Lord is the Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. He is the well-wisher of the cows and the Brahmanas. Okay, so likewise, now Kumaras are continuing it. So we have read and discussed it a little bit in the last session. And here the quality, why? Because he is always inclined to the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas are always having all the qualities like the. mm, so here, Brahmana culture are the qualities of the control of the senses, mind, cleanliness, forbearance, faith in scriptures, and practical and theoretical knowledge. So the Lord is the super soul of everyone. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Lord is source of all emanations, and He is also source of Brahman Shiva. So He is always favorable towards all the living entities who are having the Brahmanical culture. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. So in sometimes in the in my past times, whenever my mother, I was asking my mother, when do we go back to the liberation? I mean, when do we get liberation? I was a child, I do not know, but I understand mukti. What is mukti and liberation means in a generic terms. I was asking, then my mother was saying, first of all, now we are in the Sudra, we need to become to Brahmana, and then later on we will get the liberation, something like that. But it may be next life, not in this life. Once we do pious activities in this life, but she was told and said by other people in the similar way. But actually, we do not have to wait that much long. We can simply becoming the surrendered soul, then we will achieve that ultimate destination and becoming favorable to the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is source of everything. So here the four Kumaras are describing that Brahmanyasya Param Daivam Brahmanaha Kilate Prabhu Vipranam Devadevanam Bhagavan Atma Daivatam. So his Lord is the Lord of Brahmanas, Vipras, Deva, demigods, and everything. Demigods, devotees are also kind of a demigods because they have got all the kinds of, but they do not have the position allocated for the material affairs, but they have got the qualities of the demigods. यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवत्यकिंचन सर्वैः गुणैः तत्र समासते सुराः. They have got all the qualities of the demigods in them. Okay, so in such a way, Kumaras are glorifying the Lord, and then further they are addressing the Lord here, saying that you are the person who protects the Sanatana Dharma, and you are the ultimate destination of this Dharma, knowing this is a Veda Sarver Ahameva Vedjo Vedanta Krud Veda Videva Chaham. And you are that personality who does not go through different transformations. This is our opinion. So you are that same supreme personality of Godhead. Likewise, the Kumaras are addressing that Lord. So here we shall continue that Kumaras glorifications of the Lord from the third canto, chapter 16, verse number 18 onwards. त्वत्तः सनातनो धर्मो रक्ष्यते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः त्वत्तः सनातनो धर्मो. So tvattaha, so from you, sanatanaha, the eternal dharmaha, occupation. Tvattaha sanatano dharmo, rakshate tanubhistava. Rakshate is protected. Tanubhistava and multi-manifestations of your multi-manifestations. Dharmasya paramo guhyo of the religious principles. Paramaha is the supreme, guhyaha the objective. And nirvikaraha, this is unchangeable. Bhavan mataha, Bhavan yourself, mataha in our opinion. So they're in their opinion, they are saying that the Lord is the protector of dharma, and uh, he protects dharma confidentially. So we know sometimes what happens to the people. So many people are going through tribulations. Why Lord is not protecting? But in such a way, people contemplates. But here we understand at every moment this dharma under the control of the Lord. We are in the age of Kali. So the property of the age of this Kali is to diminish the dharma. So this is the Tvattaha Sanatana Dharma Rakshite Tanubhistava Dharmasya Paramo Guhyo Nirvikaro Bhavan Mataha. So can I request anyone to read this translation and purport? Gaurge Mataji, are you available?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
You call me Prabhuji.
Translation and purport, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. You are the source of the eternal occupation of all living entities, and by your multi
manifestation of personalities of Godhead. You have always protect religion. You are the supreme objective of religious uh, principles, and in our opinion, you are inexhaustible and unchangeable eternally. Purport. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The statement in this verse, the dharmasya paramo guhya, refers of to the most confidential part of all religious principles. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the consolation of Lord Krishna in his advice to Arjuna is give up all other religious engagement and just surrender unto me. And this is the most confidential knowledge in ex, escorting religious principles. In the Bhagavatam, also it is stated that if one does not become Krishna conscious after very readily exciting one's specific religious duties, all this labor in following so called religious principles in simply what is the problem? Okay. Simply or regularly uh, executing one's specific religious duties, all his labor in following so-called religious principle in simply uh, sorry wastage of times. Here also the sects confirm the statement that the Supreme Lord, not the demigod, it is the ultimate goal of all religious principles. There are many foolish propagandas who say that worship of the demigod is also a way to reach the supreme goal. But in the authorized statement of Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita, this is not accept. Bhagavad Gita says that one who worship a particular particular demigod can reach the demigod planet. But one who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead can enter into Vaikuntha. Some propagandists say that regardless of what one does, he will ultimately reach the supreme abode of the personality of Godhead, but this is not valid. The Lord is eternal. The Lord's servitor is eternal, and the Lord's abode is also eternal. They are all described here as Sanatana or eternal. The result of devotional service therefore is not temporary, as is the achievement of heavenly planets by worshipping the demigods. The sects wanted to stress that although the Lord out of his costless mercy, says that he worshipped the Brahmana and Vaishnavas. Actually, the Lord is a worshipable not only by the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, but also by the demigods. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jaya. Thank you,
Prabhuji, I cannot read properly. Sorry.
Read very nicely read, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So this is this is the Lord is eternal and Dharma is eternal, and Lord always protecting this Dharma. Lord is Nirvikara. Likewise, He protects Dharma all the time. All are eternal. Okay, likewise, the Kumaras glorifying the Lord. So this is a beautiful love two verses. I request dear devotees. I just wanted you to recite these two slokas, 17 and 18. So just try to put these two slokas together. Can I request dear devotees recite these two slokas, and then we will go into the details of sloka 18. Okay, so can I request take the turns, starting with Gaurangi Mataji. Would you like to recite these two slokas? Okay, I'll enable this Devanagari as well.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, okay.
Reduce the size so we can see both in one.
Is text 18, Prabhuji?
18 and 17 as well.
Okay.
Able to see everything in one page, Mataji? Okay.
Tattaha sanatano dharmo rachyate tanuvistava dharmasya paramo guyo nirvikaro bhavantam mataha.
And also this one, Mataji.
This one, first, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'll do continuous, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Brahmanasya param devam brahmanaha kilati prabhu pipranam deva devanam bhagwanatma daivatam tattah sanatano dharmo rachyate tanubhisatava dharmasya paramo guyo nirvikaro bhavan mataha.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Mrida Sachi Mataji are available? Or Sanchita Mataji? You can continue.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु ब्राह्मणस्य परं दैवं ब्राह्मणः किल ते प्रभो विप्राणां देवदेवानां भगवान् आत्मना दैवतं तत्त्वसनातनो धर्मो रक्षते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्य निर्विकारो भवान् मतः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. And Usha Mataji, please.
ब्रह्मणस्य परं देवं ब्राह्मणः कीर्ते प्रभो विप्राणां देवदेवानां भगवानात्मदैवतं त्वत्तः सनातनो धर्मो रक्ष्यते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान् मतः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Mrida Sachi Mataji, are you available to recite? Okay, so if Mataji is not available, we'll go to the translations and then purport. Okay, so now I request dear devotees. So this shloka is Kumara sir glorifying the Lord. That Lord protects the religion, and the Lord is the objective of religious principles, and the Lord is inexhaustible and unchangeable eternally. So likewise, so I request dear devotees, you kindly describe this Prabhupada, what Prabhupada is explaining to us. Uh, I request Sanjita Mataji and later next Usha Mataji, like that. Okay. Sanchita Mataji, would you like to shed some light on this purport if you are happy?
I can try, Prabhu. So in the purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. The statement in this verse, Dharmasya Paramo Guhya, refers to the most confidential part of all religious principle. So here, Dharmasya Paramo Guhya, Dharma is like religious principles, is saying it's the most confidential. In this verse, I mean, said by the four Kumaras, it's saying that's the most confidential part of the religious principles. And similarly, it's confirmed. So here it's spoken by the four Kumaras, but again, it's saying it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. So Lord also speaks the same thing. So the conclusion of Lord Krishna in his advice to Arjuna is, so Krishna is also speaking the same thing, give up all other religious engagement and surrender unto me. So we can see, like, where Bhagavad Gita, it's like a condensed form of what Lord has spoken, and depending on Arjuna's questions, which is basically our questions, but it's in a condensed form of 700 verses in the Bhagavad Gita. But when we come to the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see more elaborate form of the same thing, and Lord gives so many examples of his other devotees who have self-realized, lived that life, how to be devotees of the Lord. And in some way, like here we are seeing in the four Kumara stories, as when they're trying to meet the Lord, and they've gone through meeting the seven gates through the doorkeepers, and finally when they see the Lord, we see that their realization. So we see they also, we see same, they're saying the same thing, give up all religious. Lord is saying to them, give up. So when they were bewildered, Lord is saying, like, give up all religious engagement and surrender unto me. This is the most confidential knowledge and execute religious principles. So dharma, it, like, for us, we have both swadharma and sanatana dharma. First we do our material worldly duties, and at the same time dovetail our Sanatan Dharma, our devotional service, keeping Krishna in the center and practicing our religious principles. So to execute that, we have to first be in the mood of surrender, no speculation, to um, mm, accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We surrender, and then only we can, with our sincerity and humility, we can surrender. We can do our religious engagements. So to execute, this is saying that this is the most confidential knowledge in executing religious principles. So to execute our dharma, and what do we have to know? That give up everything, like Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharma Parityaja. So like in give up everything, give up all dharma, good, bad, and everything, whatever like initially they say that there are three shackles: the um, iron shackle, the silver shackle, and the golden shackle. But the chains, like which bind us. But then he's saying, even then they are chains, but they're still, even if it's a golden chain of material nature, it's still binding us. So give up everything and then surrender unto me. So in the Bhagavatam also it is stated that if one does not become Krishna conscious after very rigidly executing one's specified religious duty, all his labor in following so-called religious principle is simply a waste of time. Shamahi kevalam. So if after Krishna is saying so many times in so many different verses, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and it's saying like if we do not become Krishna conscious after executing the religious duties, then whatever we do, all the labor that we are putting to keep up this material body, to earn, to look after family, and whatever we have to do, it's only simply waste of time. So it's very important for us that to dovetail both our Swadharma and Sanatana Dharma, and first in the mood of surrender and practice the specified religious duties. Here also the sages confirm the statement that Lord, the Supreme Lord, not the demigods, is the ultimate goal of religious principles. So we see that, like, the different levels, how it's the Brahmaloka, the Shivaloka, and the different other planets, and then finally to Golok Vrindavan, the Vaikuntha, and then the Golok Vrindavan. So the demigods, they as they say, like, they are devatas. So they are great devotees of the Lord. The compares, I mean, as humans, we have a shorter span of life. We do not have so much of opulence, so much of strength, but the Lord has engaged these demigods. Like when it was the world was created, Lord has engaged them to, like, if we consider like CEO of if we consider in material terms with an analogy, like if he's the CEO of the company or the prime minister of the country, then he has got his different ministers or different like departments where he has engaged these different devatas, devis and devatas, so to engage in, like, Lord Goddess Saraswati, she's the goddess of knowledge. Goddess Lakshmi, she's the goddess of wealth. Similarly, Kubera, he's also for wealth, and Lord Brahma for secondary creations, Lord Shiva for destruction, Indra, like he's the king of the gods, and so on. So Surya Dev, Chandra Dev. So everybody has got their own like Varun Dev, and so everybody has got, but they have got their own limitations. Surya Dev, he can only give light to make this world bright, and Chandradev, when Surya is gone, so then we get the light of the moon. Similarly, but they have got their own limitations. They can only do how much is assigned to them. Like here, if we see, like, if the chief prime minister, under him the minister of education, so they can only look after the education department. They cannot look after the road constructions or the other any other department, or finance or anything. So finance has to be provided by, again, sanctioned by the Lord. Prime Minister, and only then it can come to the education department. So similarly, Lord has given these demigods different duties. They can only perform so much. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that where was I? In here, so here the sages confirm that the sages, with their meditation, deep meditation, they have realized that they're confirming that here also the sages confirm the statement of the Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord has already spoken this, and sages are confirming that, not the demigods. So he's saying that, and Prabhupada is writing very clearly in this purport, that not the demigods. Its ultimate goal of life is to reach the supreme goal of life is to surrender unto the Supreme Lord, and not the demigods is the ultimate goal of all religious principles. So whatever dharma, like in the Varnashram dharma, whoever is performing, the ultimate goal is not, we can worship the demigods, but the ultimate goal, I mean, we even as human being, we still, like as a student, they have some ultimate goal. They want to become something. they're going through the education system, they're going through schooling, college, universities, but materially they somebody wants to become a doctor or engineer or a teacher, whatever, they have some ultimate goal materially. Similarly, even those who are worshipping demigods, the ultimate goal should be of all religious principles to be reach the supreme God. So there are many foolish propagandists who say the worship of demigods is also way to reach the supreme goal. But in the authorized statement of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, this is not accepted. So when we see that, suppose again taking the same example, if for some purpose we have this access to reach the prime minister of the country straight away, suppose we can manage and arrange that, so we do not need to go through the education minister, the finance minister and all that, and then make our road to the prime minister of the country. If we have access or some source to go straight to him for solving a purpose, or even like if we have in terms of other example, like if you take for example, we have to if you take the example of school, like if we have to speak to the head teacher, then it's not necessary we have to go through the different, like whoever, if we can bypass that, avoid the secretaries and the class teacher and the other staff, the non-teaching staff and everything, if we can straight reach the head teacher, then there is no purpose. Then so here the sages are saying that, and it is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, that it is not accepted that to reach so it's a foolish propaganda saying that we have to worship the demigods to reach the supreme goal. So Lord here is saying in 1866 Bhagavad Gita that you surrender everything and leave everything and come to me, surrender unto me. So it's not necessary that we can only reach Lord by going through the demigods. We can straight away surrender and go to him. Bhagavad Gita says that one who worships a particular demigod can reach the demigod's planet, but one who worships a supreme personality of Godhead can enter Vaikuntha. So I explained before that whenever we are worshipping Brahma, then we go to Brahmalok, Shiva Lok, similarly, like so. But if we straightforward worship the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he is so merciful, he gives us takes us back home, back to Godhead, and we can enter Vaikuntha. Some propagandists say that regardless of what one does, he will ultimately reach the abode of personality of Godhead, but this is not valid. So Lord is eternal and Lord's servitor is eternal and Lord's abode is also eternal. They're described here as Sanatana or eternal. So Lord, as Prabhupada says, because of poor fund of knowledge, they say that ultimately, whatever, regardless of whatever path you take, you ultimately reach there. So we hear some other institutions saying "Jotomot Tatopot," like there are there are opinions, there are so many different ways, and always lead to the same goal or same destination. That is not true actually. So if you want to go to Prayagraj, so we cannot take a plane or a train to South India. If we want to reach to Mayapur, we cannot take a train to go to Gujarat, right? So similarly, it's so if there are different ways, it will take you to different destinations. So so that is a absolute poor fund of knowledge and a foolish thing to say that ultimately whichever way you take, you reach the supreme personality of Godhead. No, that is absolutely not right, because the demigod, if you worship demigods, it's not eternally. If we have some sukriti, if we have some pious deeds, then we can go there for some times until, suppose we have worshipped Lakshmi Devi enough, so she might give us wealth. So maybe that is enough for this lifetime. But if we still have some karmic clearance, so that again that after some time the wealth will go, the wealth will finish, and then we come back again in a different lifestyle, in a different species, or in a different yoni. but that has got an expiry date. It's not eternal. Similarly with knowledge of we have some knowledge, but after this human body, it is perishable, right? At old age we might not be able to remember. Our body will shrink, and then our brain will also shrink, and we might not be able to remember all this knowledge. So again, even if we are blessed by Goddess Saraswati, it still comes with an expiry date. As the body finishes, expires, or diminishes all the potency, then we lose that knowledge and the wealth and everything. But it's not eternal. But Lord is eternal, and his abode is eternal. So once we go there, it's not the Brahman realization. So Paramatma realization, the Brahman realization. When we some sages, they're going to Prayagraj for mukti. So mukti means like being one with the Lord and liberation, so that they're not doing they do not want to engage in devotional service. They want to be one with the Lord. So Brahman means becoming one with his energy. So his eternal energy, if we try to be one with Lord's energy, then also it has got an expiry date. It's not eternal. You can be till our pious deeds, that how much we have done, all that quota of pious deeds is finished, then that from there also, from Brahman realization also, we come down. But when we aspire for the supreme personality of Godhead, then we get everything eternal. So Lord is saying that Lord is eternal. Lord's servitors, whoever is serving in Vaikuntha, they are eternal. They do not fall down. They do not come back, and they are always in Lord's Nitya Leela. So when we say some pure devotees of the Lord, like Srila Prabhupada, he went back to home, back to Godhead, means he is in his Nitya Leela. Nitya Leela means Lord's Leela is carrying on every single day, till eternity. So even if we die, but Lord's services, they do not. We only do devotional service till we have our life and the last breath. But the actual Lord servitor in Vaikuntha, they keep on serving him eternally. And similarly, so Lord's abode, Vaikuntha, is eternal. They're all described as Sanatana. Sanatana means which never perishes. It's continuous. So that is eternal. So the result of this devotional service, therefore, is not temporary, as I mentioned, and as this is achievement of heavenly, as is the achievement of heavenly planets by worshipping the demigods. So as I mentioned, demigod worship we do only till our pious activity, the piety is there. Like if you have a bank account, then we can, if you have a lot in the bank account, we can spend like luxuriously, do things. If you want to do materially, we can only do till there is some Lakshmi in the bank account. When the bank account is empty, we cannot do. Similarly, all these pious activities, which are the blessings given by the demigods, we can only use that till we have this body, and then that is over. So we cannot do that. Maybe if some is left, we can continue in the next life, maybe born in a rich family because of the piety, or born with lots of knowledge because of the grace of Goddess Saraswati. But again, it is not permanent, it is temporary. So going to the heavenly planets of the demigods by worshipping demigods is temporary. But when we do devotional service, it is not, it is eternal, it is not temporary. The sages wanted to stress that although the Lord, out of his causeless mercy, says that he worships Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, actually the Lord is worshipable not only by the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, but also by demigods. So here we see, like, we were reading Krishna book, and we right now where we're reading, we are seeing like his conversations with Rukmini, Queen Rukmini. And so he's trying to say in such a way that I am though Lord, he has got entire Vaikuntha. So even if we do not talk about the eternal abode, even if we talk when he came in Vrindavan, he had 9 lakhs cows, and he was a son of Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Maharani. He had so much opulence, and then when he went killed all the demons, and then he went to become the king. He did not become the king of Mathura. Then he went to Dwarka to make his own kingdom. He married 16,000 princes, and then he gave palace to each one of them, and so much opulence. And there's so everything is like not the six opulences. It's incomplete. But still, we see in this conversation, we were reading with Shyam Prabhu, he's saying he's a poor beggar. He hasn't got anything. He hasn't got the looks. He hasn't got any knowledge. He has got no strength. And it was Rukmini's wrong choice to marry the Lord. So that's all. So we see Lord in humility. So, I mean, we do not, until we read the scriptures, we do not understand the different aspects of Lord. So here, Lord, when he worships these Brahmanas, so Srila Prabhupada is saying that Lord loves worship, like he, washed the feet of Sudama. So he loves when his devotees, he loves to serve his true devotees. So when he is worshipping Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, Lord is doing that lovingly, and Lord's because he is serving these four Kumaras so lovingly, and they were bewildered that why is Lord being so merciful and kind to us? But actually, Prabhupada is saying, he means that actually the Lord is worshipable not only by the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So not only it's not a thing that is mentioned here anywhere in Bhagavatam that only the Vaishnavas and the Brahmanas can worship the Lord. The demigods and everyone can worship the Lord. So that's what Prabhupada is finishing this thing with, that it's not about, though Lord is so kind and loving, and he is so merciful to his devotees when they have the clear heart and the clear intention to achieve him. But we should keep in mind that the Lord is doing that of his causeless mercy, but we should always, like, not only in our human bodies, but even the demigods, they have been appointed certain duties and responsibilities, but ultimately they are also everybody. Lord Shiva, when he's the mood of though he's in charge of destruction, but he's always in Kailash, we see he's always meditating, he's sitting, so he is meditating. He's the on Vaishnavanam at Yatha Shambhu, so he is the greatest Vaishnava. Similarly, Lord Brahma, when he came out of the navel and he did not know, he's in his darkness, so he's tapa, he's doing meditation for 100 years, and then he gets that knowledge from the Lord. So everybody, even the demigods, he's trying to explain that the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, everybody is trying to worship, and he is the only one worshipable. So when we say bhakti, we are doing devotional service, it's only to the Lord and not to the demigods. Even if we do, but that is not our ultimate goal. The ultimate goal, with only Lord's mercy, when we pray to the demigods, even if we're praying to the demigods, the mood should be, as Ramnath Prabhu says so many times, that we should be praying to the demigods that please bring us closer to the Lord, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's from me, Prabhu, my realization. Sorry, I just couldn't be giving so many references and flow like you, but I just tried, Prabhu. Forgive me for my mistakes. Hare Krishna.
Very beautifully explained, Mataji. Thank you so much. So nicely described. So it is so nectar hearing from the devotees. Thank you so much, Mataji. Usha Mataji, would you like to explain in your own words, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sansita Mataji explained very beautifully, Prabhu. So I don't know how I'm gonna say in Sansita Mataji gave so many examples about how to reach the Prime Minister and then say if you reach the state to Lord. So we don't need to pray all the demigods and anything. But then why we straight go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's the main thing in Bhagavad Gita also. The said that leave everything, Krishna said, and then just surrender to me. So because yeah, and the what is the ultimate goal for life is that way to reach the Krishna. So if there is a different demigods, we don't have to pray. And if we reach the to straight to Krishna. So Mataji explains so beautifully, Sanchita Mataji, they would give so many examples on how to be that all about the this is the when the other people are saying, oh, okay, then we can pray this God too, and then if we pray the like Lakshmi, and then also we give the wealth and Saraswati. So it's like when Mataji said temporary. So ultimate goal is like this to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I cannot say Prabhu very much, but yeah, that was my understanding. So just be with pray to Supreme Personality of Godhead and worship. Don't worship like then the demigod is like you can worship, but you can straight afterwards. Then you have to go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because then maybe take you. Like when we prayed the Hanuman, and then we said, okay, then some are worshipping Hanuman, but that Hanuman will take you to the ultimate like Ram and then Krishna. So yeah,
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Nicely described.
I'm not really like it's very much about the giving any examples or anything, but just yeah, but that was my understanding. So
Very nice. But you did very nice, Mataji.
thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, Garingi Mataji, would you like to describe Mataji? So this one, Tvattah Sanatana Dharma, Rakshite Tanubhistava Dharmasya Paramo Guhyo, Nirvikaro Bhavan Mataha. You wanted to explain, Mataji?
No, Prabhuji. I cannot, Prabhuji, sorry.
In your own words. You don't have to be remember or do many things, but in your own words.
Prabhuji, I cannot, Mataji, both Mataji explain for this purport. So this verse here is Prabhupada giving purport the Lord Krishna and Arjuna by they are talking about or something else, Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. He explained to that. Then is the Krishna conscious is a very really thing is nice one. He gave some many things. We learn many things from here, Prabhuji. I cannot understand properly. That's why every verse is important. Every verse is nice. But again, this one also we believe Krishna. We go to Krishna conscious, or we do everything. Can I say, Prabhuji? Then this Prabhupada mentioned about demigod and Supreme Lord Krishna. Everything, Prabhuji, you cannot explain. Sorry. That's it, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. But you have added your valuable contribution as well. Thank you so much. So, yeah, that is very nice purport. And thank you so much, all Matajis, for describing this one. So, one has to always, the Lord is always ధ్యేయం సదా పరిభవగ్నం అభీష్టదోహం తీర్థాస్పదం శివ విరించి నుతం శరణ్యం నృత్యాత్యహం ప్రణతపాల భవాబ్దిపోతం వందే మహాపురుషతే చరణారవిందం. So the Lord is worshipped by the Siva Virinchi Nutam Sharanyam all the time. That we have to worship that Supreme Personality of God here. Jayam Sada Paribhavagnam Abhishtadoham తీర్థాస్పదం శివరించినుతం శరణ్యం నృత్యాత్యహం ప్రణతపాల భవాబ్ధిపోతం And Brujadi, the devotees who come to the shelter of lotus feet of Krishna, he always protects. Pranatapala Bhavabdi Potham. They are the surrendered souls. And the Lord, he will protect them. Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam. So this is coming from Bhagavatam, whenever describing about the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this one, it is referring to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. त्यक्त्वा सुरेप्सितराज्यलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठार्यवचसा यदगाधरण्यं मायामृगं दयितयेप्सितम् अन्वदावद् वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम्. So again, this is again referring to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is again Bhagavatam. I think it is Karbhajana Rishi was describing this to, I think, some Nimi Chakravarti, something like that, to those, that king. He is mentioning this Karbhajana Rishi. He is one of the Navayogendras. Okay, so there the Lord is worshipped by all the demigods, Brahm, and also Brahmanisya Param Devam Brahmanaha Kilade Prabhu Vipranam Devadevanam Bhagavan Atma Daivatam. Devadevanam. He is also worshipable by the Devadevanam, like the Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, like that. And then, but people, this is foolish people. Yanti Deva Pratadevan. Pitrunyanti Pitru पितृन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्य यान्ति मध्याजिनोऽपि माम्. So whoever worships the demigods, they will go to demigods. If worships Pitrus, they will go to Pitruloka. And worships the ghosts and all those things, they will go to take birth among those ghostly beings. And whoever worships Krishna, they will go to Krishna's planet. That is the verdict of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's statements. Okay, but people who thinks like worshipping and all demigods are same, all religions are same, there are the foolish people. Mudhaha. Namam prapadyante Mudaha. This is Namam Duskritini Mam Mudaha Prapadyante Naradamaha. Asurim Bhavamasritaha. They're all demigods. They're all demonic people. They do not come to Krishna. They take some shelter of the powerful person or so many foolish ways. Okay, that is the foolish propaganda. Okay, thank you so much, Madhus. This is what I also reflect the same thing. And this devotional service, the Lord, everything is eternal about. But here, the Lord's causeless mercy, he wanted to, he says that he worshipped the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Of course, he did it practically, like Sudama and Mataji mentioned, and also during the Rajasuya sacrifice, he was washing the feet of the Brahmanas and the rishis and sprinkling the water on top of his head. Krishna is doing it directly, though he is the Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Sajidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karam. That Krishna is sprinkling the water of the water which is washed of these Brahmanas and rishis, sprinkling on top of his head. And also later, previously he was also mentioning, glorifying that I keep the dust of the feet of Brahmanas on top of my this helmet, and who does not dare to keep that dust of the feet of the Brahmanas and devotees on top of their heads. So likewise, the Lord also glorifying Brahmanas. Very nice. So, but here he says that out of his causeless mercy, that he worships the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Of course, he practically does that one. We have seen that history through the scriptural injunctions, Mahabharata, and also in the Ramayana also, where whatever the sages says, the Rama, he simply follows the instruction of the sages and Brahmana. He never take the decisions just like that. First of all, he consults the Vasishtha Muni, Vishwamitra, Bharadwaja, like all the great sages, Agastya Rishi. And then he hears them, and then he will take, that is the pramana. That is the pramanam satyalokike. That is whatever the Lord speaks, that will become pramana. And that pramana will be taken by the great sages and propagate evam parampara praptam to the bring to the next generations and next generations like that. And then whenever Lord appears, that again he takes he hears those instructions from the same sages, and then he gives the credit to that sages, Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. Okay, so that is very beautifully explaining here. Many things to go, but yeah. Thank you, Mataji. So this is the verse. त्वत्तः सनातन धर्मो रक्षते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः. Would you like to recite once more, and then we shall conclude? So we are already a few minutes past 8 o'clock. Mataji, would you like to recite?
Yes, sir. त्वत्तः सनातनो धर्मो रक्ष्यते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण तत्त्वः सनातनो धर्मो रक्षते तनुभिस्त्वः तनुभिस्त्वः धर्मस्य तत्त्वः सनातनो धर्मो रक्षते तनुभिस्त्वः धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Gange Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Tattva sanatano dharmo rajyate tanubhistava dharmasya paramo guhyo nirvikaro bhavan mataha.
Very
Three
beautiful.
times Prabhuji or once?
You want to do 3 times, Mataji? Go on.
Okay. Tattva sanatano dharmo rajyate tanubhistava dharmasya paramo guhyo nirvikaro bhavan mataha. Tattva sanatano dharmo rajyati tanuvistava dharmasya paramo guhyo nirvikaro bhavan mataha.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Maybe I'll also try 3 times, Prabhu.
Yes,
Just
Mataji,
mention
please.
things. तत्त्वः सनातनो धर्मो रक्षते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्य निर्विकारो भवान्मतः. तत्त्वः सनातनो धर्मो रक्षते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः. तत्त्वः सनातनो धर्मो रक्षते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, sir. ततः सनातनो धर्मो रक्ष्यते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः स्वतः सनातनो धर्मो रक्ष्यते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः स्वतः सनातनो धर्मो रक्ष्यते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः. हरे कृष्ण. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Very beautiful, Mataji. So just it appears like a sweets like rasagullas, gulab jamuns. I want to taste this one. I want to eat it more and relish. That way, as soon as we see and trying to recite that one, we feel the similar more taste than that. Of course, there are very material things. It is the pleasure which we derive when reciting and addressing each and every syllable. त्वत्तः सनातनो धर्मो रक्षते तनुभिस्तव धर्मस्य परमो गुह्यो निर्विकारो भवान्मतः. Though the words, Sanskrit words are directly, but Krishna is reflecting behind everything. That is why we feel unknowingly that we relish that one, the happiness when we are reciting. Feel to recite again and again. That is it actually main ingredient is Krishna behind it. He is invisible. But here is relished Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. That is how one relishes and taste the Krishna through the sound. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Very nice.
Very well said, Prabhu. Yeah, that's as you mentioned, unknowingly we have the desire, to do it again and again when the Sanskrit. But translation we do read definitely, but when we are able to, when Lord is merciful and the shlokas are not difficult, then yeah, still not at that. We haven't got. I haven't got so much mercy to do the difficult shlokas, but the ones which we can, it gives that urge to do it again and again. That's very true. Yeah, and I wanted to add also, something Kesha Maharaj mentioned, and he mentions very nicely about the three important scriptures. So Bhagavad Gita is our user manual how to live life. Gives direction how we should be. We have got this human body and how we should use it. And the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see so many. So here, when Lord says, in Sarva Dharma Parityaja. In verse 66, 1866, maybe I'll just search and say, I cannot just say it like that. But yeah. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam saranam braja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshami ma suchaha. So do not fear. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me and I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So Lord is saying this, and in this verse we see Lord's devotees, the four Kumaras, they are confirming that, you are the source of eternal occupations. Everything, we get everything eternal only when surrendered to the Lord. So you are the source of eternal occupation of all living entities, and you are the multi manifestation of the personalities of Godhead. You have always protected religion, and you are the supreme objective of all religious principles, and in our opinion you are inexhaustible and unchangeable eternally. So here, so the same thing which Lord says 1866, the four Kumaras, they are saying that when you surrender, they have lived their life like serving the Lord, and they have felt it, and now when they are having direct darshan of Lord, like in physical form, then they're glorifying and saying this. So from the translation we know that. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita is how to love the Lord. So we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani. So Lord had everything, every opulent, we say the six opulence Lord has, but Lord did not wanted to come back still after being Krishna. So when he was Ram, he Lord had that, he did not get time to enjoy as much as with his friends, or like do so many other things. He was Lord Ram was Maryada Purushottam, so he was mainly uh, oriented in fulfilling his duties. So Lord then came as Leela Purushottam, so he's doing all the different Leelas that we have seen as Krishna. And then but he had everything in this life, like as Krishna: good parents, like loving friends, devotees, gopis, opulence and everything, wealth, fame. But still also Lord is not happy. Lord is thinking, how come I don't understand what my devotees think of me. How is their heart? So then he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani. So like the suffering that a devotee has, like Radharani, how she felt when Lord left Vrindavan. So is that viraha, mm, that rasa. So in the mood of separation also, there's so much love. It's like not that Radharani is angry or she's cursing that why you promised to be me there, but why did you leave? Even in viraha separation also, Lord, she is so in a blissful state, transcendental state. So Lord wants to understand that. So he comes in the mood of Radharani and spread kindness, like how to love the Lord. So he's showing Audarya Purushottam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Audarya Purushottam. So He's so generous, he's kind, he's merciful, like Radharani. And he's just giving freebies, as they say, is freely. The Nam Sankirtan he's giving freely to everyone, that please take this name of Hari and understand. Then you will understand the bliss what this material world cannot provide you. So, as Kesha Maharaj says, the Bhagavad Gita is a book how to live life, and Srimad Bhagavatam is how to live life. All these devotees who have lived their life with remembering Lord, how they're leaving, like Parikshit Maharaj, we see the 7 days he's got, and how he's ready to leave his life. So he's not scared, and it's not sitting in a room very scared that, sometimes, these foolish propagandists, if you see, like when we were not into Krishna conscious, and as young, we read some stories, they saying that, when Parikshit Maharaj got this curse, even now if you search internet you will find that all these material people, they would say he sat in one room, he was just very scared, and he made sure that the room is sealed from everything, everywhere, so that nothing can come, and taksha cannot come and bite. He had kept it secure, with so much security. But still, he, on the 7th day, he was relaxed that, now that I am, he does not eat and drink for 7 days. But when the 7th day come, he is thinking that now I'm nearly done, so nothing can come, let me eat a fruit. And they say that in that fruit Takshak had just shrinked, and it was there in the fruit, and when he tried to eat the fruit, then he tried to kill Parikshit Maharaj. But that's completely, I do not think that's not right. But that is where I realize that Lord has so beautifully hidden this gem of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is like, we need to have mercy, causeless mercy of the Lord, even to have this. As youngsters, we did not have that, access to Srimad Bhagavatam. We knew about Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad Gita, but we did not know about Srimad Bhagavatam. That's so much literature, 18,000 verses, shlokas, so much, and about all his devotees. Lord has protected it so nicely. Like even, in Srimad Bhagavatam, we did not, even for once, Srimati Radharani's name is not mentioned there. No, none of the shlokas, because she's Guhya, most confidential. She's the most loving servant of the Lord. So she keeps it Guhya, confidential. So similarly, from this materialistic people, unless we have surrender and love, Lord has kept this literature completely hidden. So the story which goes on, as I mentioned, is that Parikshit Maharaj sat in that room, sitting closed for 7 days, but still also he got bitten. But that's not the real story. We hear that how Parikshit Maharaj is determined to leave his body, hearing the glories of the Lord. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam saying. And finally, to love the Lord is shown by Srimati Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani. So how to love. So all starting with L, how to live, how to leave, L-I-V. Bhagavad Gita is how to live, L-I-V-E, live. And Srimad Bhagavatam is L-E-A-V-E, leave this life. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is how to love the Lord. So I thought I'll just include that as well before we finish. Sorry, I took a bit of time, but Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. You have described it very beautifully, connecting all Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and how one end up with the love of Godhead. Very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Live, love, live, and live.
Yes, Mataji, I found like Kesha Maharaj, he has got this ability of playing with, English language and the words, and, he'll use the same letter starting. If he's explaining something, he'll pick up the same letter, different words, so that, it sits in the brain very nicely and we can remember, so making it easy for others who still are not like access to the scripture and all. But even he's going to universities, colleges, and big offices like the Google, Intel, and different. He's traveling all over the world, so sometimes he's not. If it's Sanskrit verses, they might not even the material. There's so much into this material, well, they might not understand. So he's making it more lucid and fluid for people to understand. So I somehow this one was there in my mind, so I thought I'll share. So yeah, we can remember it that way, and then we can connect. Like whatever Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has said in Bhagavad Gita, it's like condensed form. Here we see all his devotees saying they have lived their life already, and now they're leaving and they're saying the same thing. So that is like a praman. So Lord is given his praman like in his way, and the devotees, his devotees also giving praman that that's what Lord has said is so true. And then Chaitanya Charitamrita is completely different, is like how to serve the Lord in leave. So once you have left everything, you have all surrendered, in that mood of surrender in Viraha, how do you serve the Lord? We still, so that is one literature we have no, I say myself, no capacity to even say anything on that literature, because not there yet, not that realization. It should come from within the realization. So still far way to go, but Prabhu, Amoga Prabhu has done nice thing that we can at least hear and then slowly absorb the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because on Mondays we do teachings of Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya. So slowly in capsule form, and then hope one day with Lord's mercy we can absorb that and then be able to speak something and reflect our realizations. But that's how that's why they say it's a postgraduate course of study. Like once we have done this, and then, but of course, not us, but Prabhu is there. He has so much realization and reflection, so he does it nicely. So we leave it to Prabhu for now to share. Even Chaitanya Charitamrita, they don't have purports; they just have this translation, but it's so deep, it's difficult to explain. So not there yet, Prabhu. Sorry, you requested me and I could not say much on that. So, but still trying to grasp a bit and say on these two literature, but not there for Chaitanya Charitamrita yet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Chaitanya Charita Amritam. So it is the nectar. Bhagavatam, Amritam. So these are all nectars. Gita is the Kirtan, the song of God. It ends with Sarvadharman Parityajya in the one level. In the next level is the drinking the nectar, how to live life. It's the next level. And then it ends with where one has to glorify the Lord. That is where the Bhagavata means. Always sing and do bhajans and glorify the Lord. That is where Bhagavata means. And then Chaitanya Charitamrita, practically the Lord only comes and experience, and then showing the practically how one can experience chanting and then dancing and experiencing the love, feeling the love of Godhead. Okay, so that will go eternally. Very beautifully. Thank you so much, Mataji. Here, live, and then love, eternal love. Okay, so thank you so much, Mataji. So when we are reflecting, again, when we are hearing all these things, remembering all the past times, and again, when something is happening, glorifying the Lord's qualities, then that is Vaiklavya Bhashpakalaya Muhradhyamanaha Tachap Chittabadisham Senakaihi Viyumte. This is Evam Haro Bhapati Pratilabdha Bhavo Bhaktya Dhrava Hrudaya Utpulakah Pramodat Vaiklavya Bhashpakalaya Muhradhyamanaha Tachap Chittabadisham Senakaihi Viyumte. His heart melting with the love of Godhead. Bhaktya Drava Hrudaya Utpulakaha Pramodat. So much of happiness. As soon as one hears the good qualities of the Lord, and then remembering all the past times, revealing all the past times of the Lord in the heart. Okay, so that is again grasping, and hearing. One will always relish in the heart kalenatmani vindhati. In due course of time, he will relish in his heart. That Krishna says, whoever gets this divine knowledge in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and he will relish in his heart in due course of time. Okay, so that is all path of happiness, transcendental knowledge, bliss, and happiness. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Anything else you wanted to share, or we shall conclude? Of course, we do not feel to conclude. We always wanted to hear, but we are bound by the material bodies and needs of the body and the relating to the bodies, like the family and everything. It will be there. Anything to say further? Otherwise, we shall conclude and continue with further japa.
No, Prabhu, in respect of time, yeah, we will have to conclude today. Some other material duties waiting. So, yeah, as you mentioned, do not feel like concluding, but yeah, we have to carry both the dharma, swadharma and sanatan dharma. So maybe, yeah, regarding the question I asked, but we'll maybe discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow we are not going to the temple, so I'll be there for the sangha. So maybe we can decide discuss on that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think so that 2 verses that Bhishma
Yeah,
Deva.
you have nicely shared that very nicely, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah.
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 So the Lord is always though samoham sarabhuteshu nami dveshusti na priya, but bhajantu ye bhajantu mam bhaktya maite teshu. He says that whoever is surrendering unto me, I reciprocate in the similar way. Likewise, Bhishmadev also reciprocates. He is always Godaschariti Vrishnasu. Mohen Mayalokam Godaschariti Vrishnasu. Sarvatmana Samudrusho hi Advayas Anaham Kritehe Tatkotam Mativaishamyam Nirvadyasya Nakvachit. He is that's why because he gives according to the consciousness of the living entities, like the body of a mosquito, body of a ant, body of a dog, cat, tree, or human, or demigod, or rishi, or something like that. It is according their nature. But out of all these things, and the devotees, sadhu hridayam mahyam sadhu nam hridayam tvayam hridayam tvaham madanyanti najananti naham tebhyo managapi. Again, they are in my heart and I am in their heart. I don't know anyone except them. They do not know except me. Likewise, it is a loving relationship, all the reflection of the love. Otherwise, basic facilities, it is always there, like eating, sleeping, mating. But the deep love, it is reciprocation, it is more subtle. Then Lord reciprocates. Okay, so that is, thank you so much, Mataji. Yes, we shall discuss again this one in later session. Okay, so we shall conclude for today. वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय।
Jai Shri
शिल
Prabhupada.
प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare
Hare.
Krishna. Conscious day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.